Sorry, this chair is so squeaky. I have to like make sure it's okay. Hello everybody, welcome to the first reading wrap up of 2023, or my January reading wrap up. If you don't know what a reading wrap up is, it's basically all of the books that I read in the month of January, how I feel about them, what I read, what would I rate them, should you read it, basically all of that condensed in like a 20-minute video of all the books that I read this month. This video is so long, so let's go ahead and go on to the first book. Hello everybody, welcome to the January 2023 wrap up. I know I already did an intro, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the book. So I finished The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. It's just like this really cute, quirky romance about two high schoolers. Honestly, I think I heard this from TikTok and I was like, I just need something light and cute and easy and fast, and this was like only, I think it was almost 300 pages, but not quite. Such an easy read, very fast, very cute. It's about this girl named Becca. She's just like kind of like a quiet girl. She's kind of like an outcast. Like she keeps to herself and she loves romance books, which relatable. And Brett is like the very popular football player, and he's also really rich. Like his family's like rich. They be running that city. So how they meet is Becca is talking with her ex-best friend Jen, who is like the super popular, and she has like a lot of boyfriends, and like she's just so cool because I've had so many boyfriends than you. And Becca's like, you know what, I actually do have a boyfriend. He's just I swear I have a boyfriend. And then Brett comes up and like, she's drowning, I need help. And he swoops in and he's like, hey babe, how are you? And then they kiss, and then it's like, oh, so we're gonna fake date now. So he fakes dates to like impress his father, which kind of made no sense to me, but like whatever. And then obviously she faked dates because she's like low-key lied about it, so she's got to keep up the act. I saw someone on Goodreads, they did not like this book. They gave it like 1 star, 2 stars or something, and they were like, having daddy issues is not a personality trait, and I was like, T. The writing is okay. It's like, it gives Wattpad energy, if that makes sense, in a good way, but like it kind of does. And I gave it 3 stars. Let's go see what other books I read. Hello, I just finished From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. It is an ice skating romance. So this is about a girl named Jasmine who has been ice skating her whole entire life, but the thing is she's a pair skater and her partner has dropped her. She doesn't have anybody to pair skate with until her arch nemesis named Ivan Lukov, who is a Olympic gold medalist, world champion in ice skating pairs. He is like, you know what? I don't have a partner at the moment. Would you be my partner for a year and we can win some medals? And she's like, what's the catch? So they become ice skating pairs, but the thing is, like, they don't like each other. They both do not like each other, and they have to kind of get over the fact, because they're going to be partners for a year. They're gonna have to trust each other. And this book, this is my first Mariana Zapata book. I've heard so many good things about Mariana Zapata. My mom has read a lot of Mariana Zapata books and she's been trying to get me into them. This book was so freaking good, so cute, so good. I really enjoyed the slow burn of it. I was a little worried because 500 pages for a romance book is a lot. I was reading it and I was like, okay, I get it. I get why it's a slow burn and why it's this many pages, because it's so necessary for these characters. Like, keep in mind, these characters don't like each other, and you are going, and while you're reading this, you are reading in the course of them not liking each other, to being semi-friends, to being best friends, and to them falling in love with each other. It is just so perfect and like so good and so well done. I wish more like enemies to lovers was like that. Like, they're legitimate enemies, like they legitimately do not like each other, and then they like start to like fall in love. I love how they banter with each other. It's just so funny because it kind of low-key reminded me of like my own relationship with my partner. Like, we're very I'm gonna talk shit to you kind of thing, but like in a funny way. Like, this is like definitely like my kind of like humor. I gave this book 4.5 stars. All right, let's see what other books I read in January. Hi! I finished another book. I have read Throttle by Lauren Asher. This is part of the Dirty Air series. It's like about like F1, I always want to say F-150 I think it's just F1 racing. This is about Maya and Noah. So Maya's older brother, Santiago, is an F1 racer. He gets a new contract with like the top company of the F1 game. And so he's joining this new team. Well, Noah has been a part of this team since like, I don't know, probably like a long time ago. Noah is also part of this team, but her brother and Noah do not get along because 2 years ago, there was this whole ordeal. And so they are now new teammates on this team. Yes, makes so much sense, Izzy. And Maya is traveling around with Santiago, and she's also starting a vlog, which is so cute. I loved that aspect where she had a vlog and she was like growing a channel on YouTube. Noah's like a grumpy, like, didn't get enough love as a child, and just like a very serious F1 racer until he meets Maya, and then they like obviously don't get along at the beginning, and then they start to get to know each other, and it's like cute. This is like a book where you read it and it's just a cute romance book. Like there's not much going on. There's no like, I will say trigger warnings. There is like abuse, like parental abuse in this. I think that can be triggering, so just saying, this is not like, it's not like super fluffy. Like there are parts that are a little triggering, but for the most part I would say this is a very cute book. It's just fun to read about. I love the whole racing thing, honestly, which was kind of surprising because I didn't know if I would like that aspect of like the racing romance. There are scenes though that I was like, oh no, this is bad. I highlighted it a little bit just because I was like, this is not it. Oh yeah, the writing. This is in Maya's like point of view, and it says F1 is pretty hip. Not gonna lie. Whenever like Noah starts to really like want to pursue Maya and stuff, like some of his POVs are they're very boy POVs, I guess. I got like not uncomfortable, just like, okay, we get it. Like you want to fuck her, we get it. I felt like I was like reading the same thing like over and over in his POVs. I think I'm gonna give this a 3.5 stars. I guess I'll see you for the next book. Hello. Wait, is this just a shot of my crotch? It definitely is. These are the books for my Zodiac video, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. The first book I read for that was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I actually read this in December, but I'm gonna just put it in here. This is about a couple, and on their 5th wedding anniversary, the wife has disappeared, and the husband is trying to figure out what happened to his wife. Where did she go? And it's also in 2 point of views. It's in Nick, the husband's point of view, and it's also in the point of view of Amy and her diaries. I really enjoyed this. It was so good. I love a good thriller, mystery aspect, and I just loved what this was. It was just such a good concept, and it was done so well. The characters are very complex, and so it's so interesting to read about these characters. The thing is, the last part, the 3rd part of this book, was not it for me. Like I was just expecting something so crazy to happen, and it didn't, and to me the ending fell flat. So that is why I am giving it 4 stars. The second book I read was Violetta by Isabel Allende. This is a historical fiction about a lady named Violetta, and it's just telling the story of her life through these letters to her grandson. You're going from when she was born in the 1920s all the way up to when she passes away in 2020, and there's just so much history it goes over. It tells about her life and how interesting it was, and it's just a really interesting read. The only thing is, something in this book didn't like completely connect with me, and it didn't completely, I'm not really sure what it was. Like I've had time to kind of digest this book. I just don't know what it was. Like something just wasn't completely there for me, and it was a good story, but I don't think it like completely resonated with me that much, and that is why I gave it a 3.75. It's still a great book. I would read it if you like historical fictions, if you want to hear about someone's perspective in a different time. The last book I have is The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. This is about a girl named Nell, and she is a cartographer, and one day she gets a call that her dad has like passed away at his office. So she goes down there and she's trying to kind of figure out what happened, because they kind of suspect that there's foul play, and she goes to her father's desk and she opens up the secret compartment that's there, and it's this map that like ruined her career. Like her dad fired her over this map, and she's really confused why he has it, still owns it, and what's so special about this map. So she's kind of uncovering the mystery of why he has this map and why it's so important. I thought this book was really fun. I was pretty hooked in whenever I was reading it. I read some reviews and not everybody thought the same thing I did. A lot of people, which I see the valid criticism to this book because I completely agree, like some of the things that happen in this book are just wild and they're just never fully like explained or thought out. If you don't really think about the questions, I guess, and you don't really care about the characters that much, I thought it was just kind of interesting to read about. That's why I gave it 3 stars. All right, so those are the books from my Zodiac video. So let's go on to what else I read. Hi, I have read 2 books. I have finished Legendborn and Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. This is the new Legendborn cycle series. I read this for a reading vlog, so if you haven't seen that reading vlog, go check it out so you can hear more of my thoughts and feelings about this. Obviously, first I read Legendborn. This is about a girl named Bree. After her mother has passed away, Bree gets accepted into like this collegiate program for high schoolers at UNC. One of her first nights there, she sees like these 2 kids fighting a demon and she's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Well, the thing is, the cops come, bust the party. One of her punishments is she's gonna have to have like a buddy system, like keep her accountable. So she meets Nick. She uncovers something about the university and the secret society that the university has, and she tries to get in it because she thinks it might have had something to do with her mother's death. That's all I'll really tell you about Legendborn. If you like secret society fantasy, this one is up your... I almost said this is up your ass. This one's gonna be up... Why am I trying to say up your ass? No. This will be up your alley. Oh my god, so sorry. I will say I was a little confused about the world building. I think the author doesn't like fully explain it very well, but I feel like the way the author explains the world building, it can be kind of confusing. I also really like the talks about like racism, and because Bree is black, and it talks a lot about racism and grief and loss and trauma, and it is just such a great book on that aspect as well. Having realistic things that happened in real world scenarios as well as having fantasy aspects was just so good. So yeah, so that was Legendborn, and then obviously the next book is Bloodmarked, and I enjoyed this so much. We definitely get more into the world building and we get more action, whereas this one I felt like it was kind of slow, but once you get into it, this book was so good. It is amazing. This book is so good, and the ending to this, sir, oh my god, it's so good. I gave this book 4.5 stars, maybe 4 stars in actuality, because I'm telling you, like half of this book is just so hard to get into. But this baby, 5 stars. 5 freaking stars. It was so good. Let's go see my other books that I'm going to read. Hello everybody, this is going to be kind of a shorter review because I just finished The Guest List by Lucy Foley, but this was published by William Morrow, which is a subsection of HarperCollins. HarperCollins union is on strike right now. They're offering for better wages and for more diversity, and I support that. So I'm going to be withholding a review and a rating for this book because it is part of the HarperCollins publishing. So I hope you guys can understand that, but I will be reading more books. So let's go on to the other books. Hello. So I have finished The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I listened to this on audiobook form. This is about a girl named Shay who is working for Seattle Public Radio, and one day she is pulled into like this exec meeting and her boss is like, hey, we want ideas to produce new shows. Shay comes up with this idea called The X Talk, which is like a podcast but with exes, and they like talk about like why they broke up. They do like counseling and like all kinds of like dating advice thing, but from like exes' point of views. And this becomes like a big viral hit, but her coworker Dominic is like, that is dumb. Like, shouldn't we be doing something culturally relevant, something that'll change lives? This sounds stupid. So they kind of get into an argument in front of all the coworkers, and the boss is like, you know what? You two are gonna pretend that you have dated, then broken up, and now you guys are going to be doing this X Talk show. That is how that comes to be. What I thought about this book was, it was good. I think I had a really good time listening to it because it had those podcast aspects of like listening to somebody, like an audiobook, but like you're listening to a podcast instead. And I think that's what I really enjoyed about like having it audiobook form. Now, I think if I actually read this book, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. To be honest, I like didn't love this book. Like I wasn't really connected to Shay or Dominic. I think a lot of the complications and miscommunications or whatever were just really stupid. A lot of Shay's reasonings for why she didn't want to be together with Dominic, it was like, it's so complicated. Like, girl, it really isn't. It really isn't. I didn't really care much about this book. I think I liked it like for like the podcast aspect, and I thought that was kind of interesting, but like the actual romance between Shay and Dominic, like I just didn't really care. I don't know, something about these two characters together, I was just not, I don't know, I didn't really like it. Like I really didn't care. I didn't care if they were dating or not. So in the end, I gave this a 2.5 stars. Like honestly, I really didn't like it that much. If I read any more books, I will see you at the next book. Hello, this is probably going to be my last book for January. This is a very unexpected read. I read A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn. Honestly, I'm not really sure why I picked this up. I know this was like really hyped on TikTok, and I was just like, you know what, I want something quick, I want something simple, I want something easy, and I ended up basically reading this entire book in a day. A Not So Meet Cute is about this girl named Lottie, and she's having some like financial issues. She just got fired from her job and her parents want her to move out. She also has her pride, so she doesn't want to give that up and tell her parents that she got fired from a job. She is just kind of like, I'm gonna go in the fancy rich district and look for a rich husband. And she's just kind of like joking around, but she is like just kind of wandering around just by chance, just in case if she sees a rich husband. And she gets lost and somehow runs into Huxley. Huxley is a huge real estate agent in Los Angeles. He has this empire with his brothers. He has been wanting to secure this real estate deal for a really long time, but the guy has been very frugal with the idea of selling it to him. So to kind of make him seem more relatable and like a easygoing kind of guy, he tells the guy that he is engaged and has a baby on the way. So he kind of has to find a girl that who will participate in this scheme so he can try to seal the deal on this real estate deal. Yes. Then he runs into Lottie and he's like, want to be my fake fiance? And she says, oh my gosh, do you want to be my husband? Because I need money. They do end up getting into this arrangement. I don't know what it was about this book. This book was, one, so funny. Like there were so many like scenes and just like the banter with these characters were just so funny. Their personalities just meshed so well to each other. Even when they didn't like each other, they were just keeping up with each other, and it was just so good. It was so fun. I don't know, I really liked this. And it's steamy. Girl, it's steamy. Okay, Megan Quinn. This is also a series, so I might have to read, and it's like about the other brothers, so I might have to read about the other brothers. I gave this book 5 stars, and I think that's gonna be the last book that I'm gonna read in January. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all